we need to talk about a topic that is very dear to my heart today, and that is recorders. As you might know, I studied recorder playing at university for some years, and I play many styles of music on this instrument. For example, folk metal, pop music, and also like very modern pieces, and also classical and early music. And there are some misconceptions that recorder players and the instrument itself have to deal with, and I think it's really sad. And I don't blame anyone for not knowing things about the recorder, but yeah, let me invite you to the world of recorder playing and the amazing music and sounds that you can discover in here. Let's talk about the misconceptions. I get a lot of comments and questions from people, and they are saying things like the recorder is not even a real instrument, it's a child's instrument, it is easy to play, and wow, you can study that. And yes, you can, and I will tell you something about the recorder now. Let's tackle the first misconception about the recorder. Is the recorder even a real instrument? Yes, it is. There are recorders from the Middle Ages that were found by archaeologists that are existing today. They are not playable, but when you look at them, it is clearly a recorder, and the history of the recorder might be even older than the Middle Ages. The instrument also did a lot of developments in the history. It changed the sound and the look of the instrument and adapted it to the fashionable music of the time period. The recorder isn't a single instrument, as you might know from your school, where you have to endure learning it with 30 other kids together. It's not only this tiny soprano recorder, it has a whole family. There is the Garkline recorder, which is the smallest of all recorders. And then there is the sopranino recorder, which is a little bit smaller than your average soprano recorder. Then comes the soprano, the alto, the tenor, which is twice times as big as your soprano recorder, and even bassette recorders and bass recorders, sub bass and contrabass recorders are developed today. There's a lot of movement in the modern recorder scene. This led, for example, to bass recorders that are square shaped and have a lot of keys for playing them, as you can see behind me, the Patron bass recorders. So there is a whole family of instruments to discover and also a lot of pitches. Now, the second misconception. The recorder is an instrument for children and it's not a real instrument. Yeah, I can understand your frustration. Probably you had to learn the recorder with your classmates and it sounded awful and you all played like the soprano recorders and they weren't in tune and everybody was just blowing inside and your head and your ears hurt. Totally, I get this. So, is it easy to play the recorder? Yeah, it is relatively easy to get a noise out of a recorder, but here we are talking about noise, not about the quality of the tone. And to produce a quality tone and to really play the recorder, you have to spend as much practice and time as you would for another instrument. For example, articulation. This means what the tongue does while you are blowing into the instrument. This could be as easy as do-do-do, dee-dee-dee, or you can even use double or triple tonguing. Ticka-ticka-ticka, ticka-ticka-ticka-ticka-ticka-ticka. And this has to be perfectly aligned with your finger movements. Fingering is also a very important thing for playing a woodwind instrument, so the tongue and the fingers have to be in unison. Also, you need to learn how to correctly blow into the instrument and to have a steady airflow. which is not easy. A thing that also depends on blowing into the instrument is intonation. You have to do intonation on the recorder. It's not that you just blow inside and the tone is right and sounds nice. That's not the case. You have to adjust it with the pressure of your blowing into the flute. These are some things that are important when you play a woodwind instrument in general. This is the case for the flute, for saxophone, for clarinet. You know what I mean. I hope that I could just tell you something new and tell you that the recorder is indeed a beautiful and very real instrument, and the music that was composed for this instrument is very, very beautiful. It has a lot of variety in it, and it is not just a child's instrument. If you have any more questions about the recorder or the hurdy-gurdy or my music in general, just put them in the comments or write me a PM on Instagram, Facebook or TikTok. You can also follow me there if you like my content, and if you would like to support my music and my work on this channel, then please consider becoming a patron. We have a lovely little community with nice people who are interested in arts and music, and you can have a look behind the scenes there. Thank you for spending your time with me. I wish you all a wonderful day and hope to see you soon. Goodbye!